Alright, so back out here working on the tractor again. I've got it covered, so no dust or nothing will get on it, and I won't get overspray when I start painting everything. But it's time to start going through the pile and getting stuff out. So I think I'm gonna go on ahead and start working on the brakes, get these old shoes off and get them recovered or lined, and start cleaning the backing plates up and all the parts, and clean the drums up, whatever else, the pedals, and get everything ready so I can put the brakes back. So I'm gonna get started doing that. Figured I'd share this with you guys. This is a pretty cool design. You've got the rod that comes out. This is what your pedal hooks to, and it runs up. This is the cable, hooks in behind here, and it pulls on this arm that cams, twists out, and opens the shoes. So that's pretty cool. Right now I'm just trying to find a replacement for this spring. I've got this one. This come off of a Chevy truck, so I'm going to try to make this one work, but we'll see. Alright, 20 minutes later, we made a mess. There's the backing plates, all the miscellaneous hardware, and shoes. The only thing I noticed was one of the shoes was bent. It was this one. And you can see how it's square on one side and triangle or slanted on the other. It's supposed to be, well, wrong one. It's supposed to be like that. So it wore the entire side of that shoe off and made it into that where it was bent. So I straightened it the best I could in the vise. It's not perfect. I might go after it with a hammer, but it's better than it was. It'll definitely have clearance now. So I do have some hardware I've got to come up with, a few broken springs and some of these that Z'd up. But other than that, everything else is halfway decent. That's a little bent. And both backing plates are actually bent. And it's crazy. I don't know if you can see that. See it right there? That's where that top pin goes. It's bent. It's like that on both of them, and I can't straighten it. So it's just going to have to stay bent. Real simple design, though. It's basically like an emergency brake. Comes out, hooks there. I don't know if they use some kind of a car backing plate or their own design. I don't know. Very similar to a car, except, you know, no master cylinder, or no wheel cylinder, sorry. But all these springs seem to be halfway decent. There's another one. That one I might have to replace. Other than this one here with the broke off end, that's really the only main springs that are messed up. But I'm hoping I can come up with something for these. I hope. I think a Chevrolet truck will work, but I've got to go through. I've also got to replace one of these pins like that when it's about ready to break. So, but other than that, though, that's about all I've got so far. Alright, so I've been working on the brake parts a little bit more. I've still got to clean a lot of the stuff up, but I got the shoes, got the old material off of them. Some of them weren't too bad, like this one, it still had some life, but the other ones, I mean, they were pretty much toast. But I had like two really good ones. You know, they would have worked, but I'm here, you know, I've ordered the pads, so I might as well use all four of them. But I've got to clean these up, degrease them. Might put some paint on them, I don't know. And I've got to clean all this stuff up, wire brush it. I did go through my Chevy truck brake parts, and I did find a pretty close replacement for the worst two pins. They're pretty much identical. Chevrolet truck's just a little bit bigger, but it'll work. And then for that broken spring, I found a Chevy truck spring. It's kind of the same. I had to twist that around the other way. I just heated it and turned it and quenched it to temper it, but I think it'll hold. It's better than a broken spring. So all the other springs are in good shape. Both slack adjusters move, so I should be able to clean those up. And I don't know why, but it had two of these extra on one side. So I don't know if that's supposed to be that way, or just someone was in there before and put them back wrong. I don't know. But I'm going to keep working on it, and I'll be back when I've got those shoes cleaned up and the new material. Alright, I got all my brake parts soaking. Got the pedals, got everything scraped. Crossover pieces. Got the clutch rod, clutch linkage. I am going to make a new pin to go in this. The one that's in it, I mean, it ain't too bad wore out, but I want to make one with a grease fitting so I can grease it. So I'm going to do that here soon. Go home later this evening and make that up. But I'm going to let this stuff soak a little bit with that degreaser on it. Then I'm going to come out here and start scrubbing it and trying to get it off. Alright, so here's the pin, the old pin. See, it's got a little bit of a wear circle around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of steel here, a little bit bigger. I'm going to turn this down to this size. I'm going to make it just a touch shorter, or long. Well, I'm going to make it the same length. That's right. I'm going to make it the same length. But I'm going to leave this outer shape or outer size alone. And it'll take up one of the cotter pin holes. And then I'll just make it to the same diameter for this. Then I'll drill my hole for the cotter pin, and then I'm going to center drill it down the middle to right about there. And I'll just put a hole right in the middle of it for the grease. Put a grease fitting in the end of it, and then I can grease the clutch instead of it being dry and wearing out all the time. Alright, well, here's what we got so far. Got the end of it. I ain't got it drilled through. That's just a hole to keep the thing centered. But that fits in the thing. So that's what we got so far. Now I just gotta saw this chunk off, true the end of it up, and I gotta drill my center hole. And I gotta drill my cotter pin hole. And then I can put the hole all the way through for the grease fitting. And that'll be it. Alright, so I got the pin almost done. Fixing to drill the hole for the grease to come out of. There's the center hole for the grease fitting. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and drill the cotter pin hole. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. Alright, well, here it is. I think all I'm going to do to it now is heat it up and oil soak it to blue it. And then there's the old one. Grease fitting will screw right in the top of it. Be able to grease that main clutch piece. So, I call that a success. Alright, and there it is. All blued. so shouldn't rust now, I hope. At least it'll take it a while. Got the grease fitting in, it's ready to go. So now when I get this stuff painted, I can put it all together. Alright, so I've got everything laid out. I'm going to try to get cleaned up. Got the backing plates, water pump, fan support. Got the pedals, the brackets, crossover bar for the pedals. Pretty much everything laid out. Got the battery box hinge, air cleaner bracket, tank support bracket, hood bracket / tank support, fan blade, spindle, and then the fan blade. So I've got all that stuff laid out here. I've got it all soaking with some engine degreaser. These are the greasiest, dirtiest parts. So once I get this stuff done and cleaned up, I don't know how many of these are going to make it into the first paint batch, but I'm going to try to do all of them. And I've still got the drums and the little covers to do. Once I get all this stuff done, we'll be able to put a good bit of it together. So I'm going to get started cleaning these pieces and I'll be back. Alright, after a couple of hours of cleaning, we've got all this stuff ready for, almost ready to paint. Ready to be sanded and wire brushed and sandblasted. So I got the brake drums, got the covers, got the brake pedals, water pump, gas tank support, fan, all that stuff. So I'm going to get started cleaning this stuff up. Hopefully we can be throwing some primer on it here pretty soon. Well, here we go. We got all these parts primed. I've just got them hanging in here. I had them out here on this clothesline that I made right here across these two trees. Now here's the brake drums. Got them primed. I did find a crack in this one that I didn't even know was there. You can see it right there. Runs about a quarter of the way around, so I'm going to try to find me a brake drum because that one's about had it. But we're going to go ahead and paint it and put it on. Be temporary. But there's the backing plates. Got them primed on both sides. And I got the fan and the other stuff at home. But come back out here maybe tomorrow and try to lay some paint on these pieces. So I'll see you guys then. Alright, well, got all the parts hanging. Fix to start painting everything, so I'll be back when I get it all done. Well, got all the parts done. Everything's in paint, everything come out pretty good. So let this stuff cure for a couple of days and start putting it on the tractor. Alright, well, I kind of jumped ahead a lot, but here's one backing plate with all the brake stuff put on it. So got the actuator cable, all the springs and everything put back on. I got both of them. Got both the shoes relined, so I kind of screwed up on that shoe. That was the first shoe I did. Kind of a learning process. I didn't do that to none of the rest of them though, so that's going to be the only one that might give trouble, but I don't think that it will. And here's the other one. Right here. Got everything cleaned up, working, so we'll put these on, start reassembling a lot of stuff. Alright, well, here's what I got on so far. Got the fan blade, got the air cleaner bracket, got the carburetor drop down, tank support, throttle crossover, got the clutch rod, There's the pin I made. Got both the brake drums, backing plates put together, put on both sides. Got the whole pedals. Got both pedals put on. So yeah, we're making a good bit of progress here. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the carburetor on, and the two rods, the one that goes from there to there and the one that goes from here to here. And then I got to clean the bolts up and put the air cleaner on, and right there is the battery hold down lid hinge that goes right there. So once I get these other two parts on, the clothesline will be empty. So I'm gonna call it a day because it's dark, and I'll be back tomorrow. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention this really fast. If you guys ever have an opportunity to get you a teardown manual of one of these, do it. I mean, it shows pretty much everything. There's the oil pump, there's the fan, whole entire engine blowed apart. Real handy to have, especially when you're putting this stuff back, because I couldn't remember how this went. I couldn't remember how any of this brake stuff here went. Like all this, I didn't know if this went on this side or that side. So I looked through the book, seen it all blowed apart. I also saw a blow apart of the brakes. What I had and what I didn't have, and there was a lot of stuff I didn't have. So had to go back through and sort all that out. But this book was a lifesaver on a lot of that stuff. Alright, so I got everything I painted put on. Got my solenoid. Got a solenoid today. Put it on there, hooked the cables back up. Got the ground on. Put that piece on. Got the bolts fixed for the air cleaner. Got it put on. I do have one question for you guys that have worked on these tractors. I have this that I got with the tractor, but it will not fit on this. It won't fit. And I don't understand if I'm missing something. There's supposed to be a little pipe that goes between these two things. I don't know. I got this air cleaner off of eBay. Mine was actually cut off right here. Didn't have this split. But every one of them I see, I mean, this looks like the original one. It's got the yellow paint on it, so. But it just won't fit. I don't know if there's supposed to be another pipe that goes on here and hooks into that, or a piece of rubber. I don't know. Figured I'd ask someone, if anyone on here knows, let me know, because I got to figure that out. I don't know if I'm just missing something, or either way you go, I'm going to have to rig something up and make it work, but I wish it would just fit. I don't know why it don't. But yeah, I've got pretty much everything done here. I also went out and bought me a new paint gun. I haven't tried it yet. It's one of those Harbor Freight, let's see, what is it? Spectrum paint guns. It feels like a really nice paint gun. This one has a 17 tip on it. My old paint gun, I painted my truck with it, the Jeep with it, a few other things, but it's been a pretty good gun, but it had a 14 tip. And I just wasn't able to get that thicker tractor paint there to come out good, so thought I'd try this 17 and see what it does. Hopefully it works better. I also got a water separator and all the other stuff, a regulator. So hopefully that paint gun will work a lot better with this thicker tractor paint. I'm still going to use this gun though to lay the primer out, because it does really good on the primer, because I can thin it and, you know, make it spray good. So think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep using it for primer, and I'm going to start using this one to paint with. Alright, well, I guess that'll do it for this video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I've been trying to make them a little shorter so they're more watchable. So thank you guys for watching, and next time we're going to start tackling some of those other parts back there, the bigger stuff. So thanks for watching. Bye.